Amazon.com. Used books, very inexpensive. If you want a clear idea, you want more clarity, go on our website and you'll find the books in there, the names of them, the authors, and so forth. But I found that the idea that man is asleep is a very profound idea. I think Gurdjieff had a really grasp about the terrible state of humanity. And my desire in these videos is to help you and help myself, because as I communicate these ideas to you, I become clearer. There's nothing like being trying to communicate what you're thinking and find out how clear is it. So I have, I would say, 40 years of study, of research, of self-examination. And I know that there are many scholars out there who, who are teaching Spinoza in the universities. Many people have written books about Spinoza, and if you go on websites, you'll find Spinoza all over the place. Benedict de Spinoza. At one time, he was called Baruch de Spinoza, but when he left, when he was excommunicated, he became Benedictus de Spinoza. He took on the Latin form of Spinoza. I thank him because in his writings, I've learned how to study his writings. And in the improvement, he told me that there is something out there, an object that is infinite and eternal, and if we're connected with that object, and I would say he called it nature, and nature is God. Not a personal God, but a God that is infinite and eternal. And I've learned from reading in the improvement what is required to study Spinoza. I would say that the scholars, and there are many individuals who study Spinoza, love him theoretically. But I would say that that is not good enough. Spinoza and my teacher, Gregory Grover, made it very clear to understand Spinoza and make it a part of your life. And if you do this, you would have a different kind of life. To study Spinoza, there has to be a desire to understand, and there has to be an emotion which is desire to be, like I say, to understand and make it this information or this knowledge that you're going to be, say, delving into, a part of you. I'll give you an example. Spinoza talks about emotions in the third part of the Ethics. He explains what love is. He says, love is pleasure with the idea of an external cause. Now you're saying, well, what in the world does that mean? Well, if you listen again, love is pleasure. I'm feeling pleasure with the belief that the other is the cause of this pleasure. So basically, love is pleasure with the idea of an external cause. And the opposite is true. If pain is a feeling of the object, or say, start over, hatred. Now we have love, and now we have hatred. Hatred is the idea of pain, and the object is the cause of this pain. So we have love, we believe we have pleasure, and the object is the cause of our pleasure. Or if we have hatred, the object is the cause of our pain. So we have hatred and pain in the emotions. Spinoza said there's no such thing as free will. And you're going to say, my God, that's ridiculous. But I would say that what we are experiencing, I know that there's no free will. What we do have is choices. We have, and we're thinking these choices are free. They're not free. They're just, we have a many choices. And the memory that we are experiencing, and all the experiences that we have in our memory, come out when these things are brought to our attention. When we are stimulated by the external. I would say that, for instance, if you're a male, you have a certain type of woman that you're stimulated, or if you're a young boy, you have a certain you are a young man. If there's a certain type of person you are attracted to. This is all stored in your memory. If you're a young lady, the same thing. Some type of man comes across and your vision, and you are, say, attracted, because in your memory bank, all the things that you find attractive are stored, and that is just being touched over and over again. You can take foods that you eat. The things that you learn are repetitions. And this is why Gurdjieff said that man is asleep. We're asleep to our intelligence, our intuitive intelligence. And the idea is to wake up. The idea of a group is paramount in being able to, say, transcend our nature from a sleep state to an awake state. Why is a group necessary? Because by ourselves, it's so easy to lie. You've experienced this. You tell yourself, well, I'm going to go start a new health program. I'm going to get up in the morning, and I'm going to get up at, say, 6:30, because I have to go to work at 8:30. So I need some time to take a walk or go to the gym. And I'm going to start this tomorrow morning at 6:30. And so 6:30 comes, and the alarm is set off, and you put the snooze button on, and you go back to sleep. Because there's nobody there pushing you or driving you. There's some individuals who are driven, or who are, say, have a self in them that drives them. Those are very few. And this is the key. In Gurdjieff, he talks about that we have to develop an I in ourselves. An I that has to do with a large self. This self is determined to help reach for the betterment of our nature. Spinoza calls this virtue, adequate self-preservation. To wake up, we have to develop this self. The self is an I, a capital I. The little I that wanted to go, start a new regime or a new exercise program, was a small I. The individual who wants to start a new diet or a new health program speaks with a small I, a small desire. So I'm going to interact with these, Gurdjieff and Spinoza. Spinoza says desire is the essence of man. So every individual, all we have is these desires. And Gurdjieff would say each desire, or say man is comprised of many eyes or thousands of eyes. I would say that each eye represents a desire. You have desire for this, you have a desire for that, you have a desire for this. And very few of these are really realized. To develop the real self, to be able to control the other, say, desires, is the goal. And therefore we need an individual who has experience. I'm not just saying the first level of knowledge, but actually taking reason and the third level of knowledge, intuition. And this is what Spinoza really understood. To read Spinoza, we have to take reason and intuition. Reason and intuition, it's called integration. And this, we can begin to really, our mind begins to, say, pierce the ideas of Spinoza. And when we're able to do this, we are able to, say, really live the life of Spinoza. Spinoza was an